Welcome, brothers. In today's episode, we will talk about single mothers and their ridiculous standards for the men they desire, when nowadays every man knows that a single mother is a terrible option as a partner. But before we continue, brothers, we invite you to subscribe, like the video. We want to reach 50,000 subscribers, so we ask for your small contributions so the family keeps growing. We'll leave our super chat if you want to donate to the channel. Don't forget to leave us your comments. Without further introduction, let's begin.
How to find the boring guy. Okay, single moms, you want to find Mr. Right. I get it. You deserve to feel loved, but you can't find him until you do this. Get you right. Until you get yourself spiritually right, emotionally right, and financially right. Because if you don't get all three of those things right and you're out swiping in the dating world, all you're going to meet up with are toxic men. Because when you're not emotionally, mentally, and financially fit, you will accept less than you deserve. Because you're not loving yourself. You don't even think you're worthy of the good guy, which we've deemed here the boring guy. It's not really boring, it's just not toxic. And I get it, you're in a hurry. But if you don't fix yourself first, it's gonna take you even longer to meet a good man. And you'll get hurt even more. Trust me, I did it. I made the mistake. And I'm here to help you not repeat that same mistake. Let me help you. Download my free Brave Life Planner. The link is in the bio. It's gonna help you start to put your life together and then join my Single Mom Club. Every week, I'm gonna help you get emotionally, financially, and spiritually strong so you can be a fantastic partner and make a really wise choice this time.
Indeed, the guy isn't toxic, so it's understandable that you don't like him because a single mother with Chad's kids is used to the bad life. These women have Chad's children, a man who is in the world only to spread his seed far and wide. This man who never stops working and is the #1 producer of single mothers. He takes her on an emotional roller coaster, making it impossible for this woman to break free from that cycle, as we all know that women are strongly connected to their emotions. This man becomes like an addiction for this woman, so it can never work with another healthy man unless she spends several years in therapy reprogramming her brain. Brothers, this dating coach teaches women how to distinguish boring types, in other words, how to track down the beta provider. At no point does she talk about whether this man will appeal to her. She only sells to women the idea of finding the boring type who can support Chad's child. Believe me, her channel is full of single mothers seeking to learn the strategy to get their beta provider, someone who will lift them out of their misery for having to be alone in the world raising Chad's children. They need the help of this man willing to raise Chad's seed.
So I've now been single for about 8 months, mentally probably a lot longer, but I don't know how to go about this. There's been a couple of people that I could have seen something blossoming with. One couldn't because he wanted kids and I didn't, and two, there was an age thing. And what am I supposed to do? I have my kids 90% of the time. And what am I supposed to do? Meet somebody on a Friday and Saturday and be like, oh, see you in a couple of weeks' time? It just becomes a really, really difficult situation. And also, do I want to meet somebody that hasn't got kids and doesn't understand the kid situation, or somebody that has got kids, which then brings more kids into the factor, and now I have 3 and then there's more children? Like, help.
Brothers, this woman has 3 kids from Chad. She wants a man without kids who will make her the center of his life, solely distribute his resources to raise her children because, according to her logic, a father is the one who raises, not the one who begets. What better than to marry a mother of 3 children to finish raising Chad's seed? This woman is smart, I must say. Did you not hear how she's searching for her new victim, a man without children, because she doesn't want a single father, of course, because that would bring his own seed into the equation? She wants one without kids who also doesn't want to have kids. Apparently, she found her beta provider at some point, but he insisted on her giving him a child. She doesn't want to give children to the beta provider. She only wanted Chad's DNA and the beta provider's resources. Brothers, I don't know why a man would get himself into this mess, but if you find yourself in the condition of dating a single mother and you don't have children of your own, make it clear to her that she has to give you a child within a 2-year period. If she hasn't given you your own DNA in 2 years, discard her. If she's a mother of 1, 2, or 3 children, run away from there. Yes, it's easier to endure Chad's child if you're having your own, but if she won't even give you that, what's she doing there? raising another man's sin. But I want you to listen to the other video about a single mother and her chaotic life.
So I'm a single mom of 2, and I kind of wanted to share why I don't and will not date anymore. So a little backstory about me. I have 2 boys. I was married to my second son's father for a little bit, and I had my first son in high school with my high school sweetheart. I was also engaged for a little bit recently, and I called that off, but that story's for another video. So pretty much since I called off my engagement, I've been doing a lot of like internal soul searching about like dating and just relationships and like what I want out of that. I highly recommend you do that and journal, because that's helped me like kind of figure out where I'm at in this moment today. So basically, I have decided to not date, not look, not try, not think about it, not put any energy into relationships or dating. I like 100% want to focus all of myself on my kids and my career. Don't know where my career is going yet, but again, another video. So the reason that I've decided this is just a few things. A, dating as a single mom is so risky. Like, from this past experience of breaking off my engagement and all of that, like, unfortunately, I hurt my kids. And that has been really hard for me to process in putting them through that as well. And it's just too risky for me, and not something that I ever want to be put through or put them through again. Now, mind you, my kids have not met a lot of people. This was the first guy that my youngest son met, and the second guy that my oldest met being the other one being my youngest son's father. So anyway, it's just too risky. Another reason is, like I said, I just like want to be 100% focused on my kids and my career. Not saying that if you're dating and you have kids and you have a career that you can't be 100% in a relationship. But for me, I just don't want to even have to bother, to be honest. Like, I am all in on my kids. I'm all in on my career and where I want to go and what I want to build for us. That dating is just nowhere near my radar. And I've thought about it since calling off my wedding and ending my engagement, like getting back out there, just kind of like seeing what's out there. And I'm just truly deep down, like, not interested. Men have hurt me so much, and this is not like a fuck men video. It's really not. But I truly have zero trust, zero, in the male species. And that's also another reason. Like, my ex-fiance was like the nicest guy ever, and it still didn't work out. So maybe it's me. I don't know. It's me, I'm the problem. I don't know. But I'm really truly at a point in my life where I don't want to date. I will not date. And that might change in a couple years, might change in a couple months. I don't know. But as of right now, I'm really, really happy with my decision. And I just suggest really searching internally for what you want.
Then she wonders why men don't want to date single mothers. In her adolescence, she gets pregnant by a Chad, a man who brings nothing to the table except his seed. Then she finds another Chad who also ends up getting her pregnant with the second child. And finally, she finds the boring guy, the nice guy, this beta provider willing to accept her with 2 kids, brothers, who wanted to give her the ring. But what a simp. And this woman cancels the wedding. Can't you see? She says she doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know if she's the problem. Of course, it's you. Your brain is damaged from dating Chad so much. Like I said, if these women don't undergo therapy for at least 2 years, they won't succeed in reprogramming their brains to get out of that bad life. The boring guy didn't appeal to her because he didn't put her on an emotional roller coaster. As I mentioned earlier, women are loyal to their emotions, so it won't work with the good guy because, as the dating coach said, he's not toxic. Brothers, stay away from defective products because they will only give you headaches and suffering. When you see that she has 2 children from 2 different fathers, it means that woman comes from troubled pasts.
I reached out to boys that were raised by single mums. You just think, especially with little boys being raised by single mums, there's just a lot to unpack there. And what was really curious for me, the one thing that popped up with all of them was that I think it was a lot more common back then with single mums, but they said, I wish she dated more. I wish she invested in herself more. I've heard this conversation a bit lately, and I get where it comes from. I've seen it a lot where women are like, that's it. I'm not dating until my kid's 18 and then I'll do it. I'm just going to give all of myself to my child. And I hear them. I hear why they say that. But from the conversations that I had with these guys is they were like, we actually felt such an immense pressure because we knew we were that mum's world. Like, I wish she had joy and happiness outside of us, because all of a sudden, I actually think that's too great of a burden for a child to carry, knowing that they are your only source of joy and happiness. And that is actually not something that I want Len to carry. I do believe that it can coexist. Devote yourself to your child, but you also devote yourself to yourself. And you, like, how incredible for a child to see their mum fulfilled and happy and in love and cared for and supported. Like, far out, that is what I want my son to experience.
The irony here is that children raised by single fathers perform better than those raised by single mothers. What this woman says is true. This also happens when they have a son, especially if he resembles the father. Many women start to resent the child because he reminds them of the father or the Chad who left them. Why do you think almost all troubled kids or kids with mental problems come from single mothers? It's because many focus their lives on the child, making them their entire source of happiness, which ends up spoiling them with so much attention, making them effeminate, or turning them into socially resentful individuals. It's logical to think that if you date a single mother, you'll never be the center of the relationship. Her children will always be. But many also do the opposite. They find a man, have more children with him, and mistreat the children who remind them of their troubled past or bad decisions, treating them poorly or unloading all their frustrations on them. Brothers, don't seek trouble. With so many single women out there, why put yourself in the situation of raising Chad's children?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you the real tea on if you're a single mom and you're dating, why it's actually like good for you, because you can pick such a good partner. One, you have like no time for BS. Like, as soon as somebody starts like messing around, you're actually just uninterested. You don't like to play those games anymore because you're like, I'm busy. Or you'd rather spend time with your kid. Like, that's a sign. If you're hanging out with someone or dating someone and you'd literally rather be home with your child, you don't like them. Next. Another thing is, if you used to like pick bad guys before, you're a single mom now, so clearly something was wrong with your judgment. Now it's like you have somebody, you are bringing someone else into the equation, so you just can't even like mess around with that kind of stuff. It's so much more responsibility on your shoulders. Like, you're not just playing with your own heart, you're playing with your kids, so you're protecting your kids' heart too. So you choose such better quality people than you would if you were just like yourself. Like, you don't have room to mess around in that way, And because you have such little free time, you're actually good to spend time by yourself. So like, if somebody's not like really making you so happy, you're good to be on your own. Happy dating.
Did you notice when she said, if you used to choose bad boys when you were single, clearly something was wrong with your judgment? In other words, before you could have fun with Chad, the man who truly swept you off your feet, whom you genuinely liked. Now you can't choose that way anymore. Now you have to choose based on your standards because you need to find a new father to take care of raising the child of the man you truly loved. Brothers, many women are with men simply for what they bring to the table, not because they generate any kind of emotion in them. They seek the beta provider for his resources. That's why many women say they're with who they can, not who they want. Most women end up loving only one man, usually the father of their first child. That's who they genuinely want the DNA from. But as we know, Chad doesn't commit to anyone. So afterwards, they have to go to therapy to see if they can learn to love or tolerate being with another man who can provide a stable financial life and raise Chad's seed. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think about women looking for boring men? Do you think men should date single mothers? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from The Wall.